Welcome to another episode of Am I the Bad Person, which is not the name of this subreddit, but we keep it family friendly here, so I'll pretend it is. Am I the bad person for refusing to shave after my husband grew a beard? This has to be one of the strangest questions that I've seen on here. I'm not attracted to beards. Personal preference. I don't like the way they look and I hate the way they rub on sensitive skin. First of all, I'm sure everyone has seen those beard versus no beard. A beard is like makeup for guys, even though guys wear makeup. It's like everyone talks about how beards enhance the appearance of a lot of men and how they're just preferable in general. But anyways, I digress. My husband knows this. He's known it as long as we've been together. He decided to grow out his beard for the past few months after being inspired by a subreddit, a true dawn, who makes his decisions based on subreddit. I still don't like beards. When I asked if he could shave it, he said it was his body and I couldn't tell him what to do. He joked that if it came between me and the beard stays. So he said it's his body and he gets to decide what to do. Keep that in mind. For the rest of this, just keep that one sentence that came out of his mouth, allegedly, in mind. There are things I don't like to do, but I do for my husband, like shaving my entire body. It's honestly a pain, but my husband prefers it, and I know society does too. I decided to stop shaving anything. As a South Asian woman, that means I am now incredibly hairy. My legs are indistinguishable from my dad's now. I'm still very hygienic, I just don't shave. And it's been really freeing. I don't have the pain of ingrown hairs that I used to get everywhere, especially my underarms. I have literally an additional half hour to an hour a day. I don't have to carry a razor because of paranoia I missed a spot or worry about how my toes look. I didn't know how much time I spent shaving, waxing, threading until I stopped. At most now I just get my upper lip threaded, but even now I don't do it as often. It would be nice if we were both happier now, but my husband is disgusted at my hairy body. My husband hates it. He accuses me of doing it to spite him. He compares me to Chewbacca, which to be fair isn't far off. He's been telling me that women find beards attractive, but men don't find hairy women attractive, so it wasn't equal. For me, it was more like letting go of the expectation that I had to do things that my husband was attracted to. Again, because he's not doing the same. Even if he shaves his beard, I don't think I could go back to shaving every day like I used to. I don't see it as a conflict. I feel like we should just be both happy with ourselves. I don't think I'm the bad person, but he says I am one. Am I the bad person? First of all, unintentional probably, but she paints her husband in a very negative light because he clearly calls her a butthole. He says that he would choose his beard over his wife, and he says that it's his body, so his wife shouldn't even talk about it. So that's all messed up. Let's go back now to that thing I told you to hold on to. I hope you earmarked it, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a doozy. When asked if he could shave it, he said that it was his body and I couldn't tell him what to do. So obviously, it's the wife's body and the husband can't tell him what to do. The husband should have no say in whether or not she goes back to shaving everything all the time. He kind of walked into that one. He says, oh, you're doing this out of spite. She claims it's not spite. Maybe it's a bit of spite. I like to think it is because we're just humans, all of us. But even if it was, it wouldn't matter because it's still her body. According to him and his logic, it's still her body and he shouldn't be telling her what to do with it. So you lose, buddy. He set the rules and he violated the rules. But obviously, living by rules is no way to run a marriage, so they should talk about it. They probably can come up with a compromise. He can probably shave his beard and she can probably shave a bit more often, but in ways that are less painful to her. Because in marriage, it's easy to say that this is my body and that's your body. You're really one. You're really a unit. It's more about living together with love. And that's more than just love for yourself and what you like to do and what's comfortable for you. She sounds selfless in the beginning when she talks about how there's a lot of things she does for her husband that she doesn't like to do. And so in that light, you don't have to do everything your partner says just because they say it, but you can talk about things and come to a compromise and you can both be reasonable about things, and you can give in some certain ways even when you feel like your partner is not being reasonable, because that's just how things work sometimes. You will not always see eye to eye on everything, but you can still live together. You must. So it's a bit wonky here. I have no clue what South Asian women look like when they're all haired up. I don't want to have a clue what they look like when they're all haired up. I've seen Chewbacca. I'm not a fan. And also, it's clear that when she doesn't shave, she actually reaps a lot of benefits that improve her quality of life. So she gets more time and she gets less pain. Pain from shaving it's a real problem. It's a real nuisance. You kind of realize it more when you don't get the pain, but when you have the pain, it's just so often and persistent that you just get used to it, at least in my experience. But it's an annoying thing to get used to, and when you're free of it, it's a big difference. As for him, it doesn't look like there's any benefits he gets from not shaving. He doesn't get more time. He doesn't like feel any better. He probably does get some benefits from feeling more attractive. He probably gets the benefit of just the pride in himself, just looking in the mirror. He probably gets compliments on the beard, and he's probably a fan of all that stuff. So I really don't want to pretend like that's nothing, and that's definitely to be considered. So it's fair to think about that, and it's fair to bring that into the conversation between the two of them behind closed doors as married partners when they come up with a compromise, a way to both live with this thing. It's possible that he gives up his beard completely if it means his wife continues to shave everything, and that might be the compromise they come up with. But given how freeing this is and how much of a difference it's made in her quality of life, she'll probably not be so keen on giving up everything, so she'll probably want to shave not everything all the time, but I'm sure they can work something out. Maybe he won't even shave his old beard all the time. Who knows? This is their marriage and it's up to them to deal with it. It's easy to just say one person is bad and he's just evil, the devil incarnate, but that doesn't really help the marriage, because at the end of the day, no matter how mean people say your partner is on the internet, unless they're really abusing you or just messing with you, abusing you psychologically even, you still have to live with them, and you just have to make peace and be nice and work things out, no matter how reasonable or unreasonable people on Reddit are saying your partner is being. And in this case, I'll agree, he's being pretty unreasonable, and he is the bad person, but you still gotta live with him. And that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Bye.